I know has escaped from prison.
I'm coming for my revenge, Groot!
We have to get to the safe house.
Despicable Me 4 brings back the chaotic charm, heartfelt family dynamics, an unpredictable villain energy that made the franchise a global animated phenomenon. This new chapter doesn't simply recycle past mischief. It pushes its central characters into a fresh phase of life where responsibility, identity, and legacy collide in hilarious and surprisingly emotional ways. The tone remains bright, fast-paced, and full of absurd humor. Yet beneath the slapstick comedy lies a deeper reflection on growth and change. The story reintroduces Gru not as the world's greatest villain, but as a devoted father navigating the challenges of family life while still carrying traces of his mischievous past. His transformation from supervillain to family man has always been the emotional backbone of the series, and this installment amplifies that evolution. Gru is no longer chasing world domination. He is trying to balance domestic stability with the lingering thrill of action and danger. That inner conflict drives much of the narrative tension. Lucy continues to stand beside him as both partner and equal, bringing her signature energy and optimism into every situation. Their relationship feels more grounded and natural than ever, blending humor with genuine affection. The domestic scenes carry warmth, showing how far the characters have come from their chaotic beginnings. Yet stability is short-lived when a new threat emerges, forcing the family into unexpected circumstances. The introduction of a new antagonist shifts the story's energy immediately. Unlike previous villains who thrived on theatrical evil, this new figure feels more unpredictable and psychologically sharp. Their motives aren't rooted in cartoonish domination alone. They seek recognition, revenge, or validation in ways that mirror Gru's own past ambitions. This thematic parallel adds depth, making the conflict more personal than ever before. The minions remain a central comedic force, but their role evolves slightly. Rather than simply causing random chaos, they become unexpectedly instrumental in navigating the unfolding crisis. Their loyalty to Gru remains unwavering, yet their antics escalate into scenarios that blur the line between disaster and accidental genius. Whether experimenting with gadgets or stumbling into high-stakes situations, their presence ensures the film never loses its playful absurdity as the stakes rise. The family dynamic becomes the emotional core once again. The girls, now older and more independent, begin to question their own identities and aspirations. They are no longer just adorable children looking for affection. They are individuals discovering their strengths. This progression adds heart to the story, showing how growth affects every member of the household differently. One of the most compelling aspects of Despicable Me 4 is how it balances large-scale spectacle with intimate character moments. Explosive action sequences and elaborate hideouts contrast with quiet conversations about belonging and purpose. Gru finds himself reflecting on what kind of role model he truly wants to be. Is he defined by his villainous past or by the love he's built within his family? That question lingers beneath every chase and confrontation. Visually, the animation pushes creative boundaries. Colors pop with even greater vibrancy, environments feel more detailed, and action sequences are choreographed with kinetic precision. The film embraces exaggerated physics and imaginative gadgets while maintaining a cohesive, polished aesthetic. Every scene feels carefully designed to amplify both humor and emotional impact. The pacing rarely slows, moving quickly from comedic chaos to heartfelt reflection. Yet, when the narrative allows space for emotion, it lands effectively. Moments of vulnerability reveal that even former villains carry insecurities. Gru's fear of losing control, whether over a mission or his family, becomes a recurring theme. Lucy's unwavering support highlights the strength of partnership in uncertain times. The new antagonist's plan unfolds with layers of deception and calculated risk. What initially appears as a straightforward scheme grows more complex, forcing Gru to confront aspects of his own past he thought were buried. The confrontation becomes less about defeating an enemy and more about understanding the cycle of ambition and ego that once drove him. Meanwhile, the minions embark on a side journey that spirals into its own comedic saga. Their misadventures intersect with the main storyline in unexpected ways, creating some of the film's most memorable sequences. Through their chaos, the film subtly reinforces themes of loyalty and belonging. Even in their silliness, the minions embody the idea of unwavering support. As the climax approaches, the tension intensifies without sacrificing humor. The final showdown blends elaborate gadgets, daring rescues, and emotional stakes. Every character has a role to play, emphasizing teamwork over individual heroics. The resolution feels earned rather than convenient, reinforcing that growth often comes from collaboration. The aftermath carries a sense of transformation. Gru stands not as a reformed villain haunted by his past, but as a man who has integrated those experiences into wisdom. The family dynamic feels stronger, not because challenges disappeared, but because they faced them together. The girls demonstrate newfound confidence. Lucy's optimism remains unshaken, and the minions celebrate in their uniquely chaotic fashion. Despicable Me 4 ultimately becomes a story about evolution, how people change without losing the essence of who they are. It celebrates the idea that even the most unlikely individuals can build something meaningful when they embrace responsibility and connection. The humor keeps the tone light, but the emotional undercurrent gives the narrative staying power. By blending high energy animation with heartfelt storytelling, this installment expands the franchise's legacy. It respects the mischievous roots that made audiences fall in love, while daring to explore more mature themes of identity and belonging. In doing so, it reminds viewers that being despicable was never the point. Growth, family, and loyalty were always the real story. The film closes on a note of optimism, suggesting that while chaos may be inevitable, love and unity provide stability. Gru's journey from villain to devoted father reaches a new milestone, proving that redemption is not a single event but an ongoing process. Through laughter, action, and emotional sincerity, Despicable Me 4 reaffirms its place as both an entertaining spectacle and a heartfelt family adventure.